Meet your makers here going to be hanging around their jungle. The players are obviously on a 30-second delay, but I still don't want to give anything away here. But I can now as they come face checking into the brush. This could be bad. Spontex has to flash away, but look how low Kubon's gone. It is going to be first blood picked up. Shushay not going to escape, and Vayne has picked up a kill there. That could be devastating, but Makler going low. Hosan is going to go in there, manages to pick up another one. Movement will flash away, and they're still fighting on as Wukong goes down. And they're not done just yet. Makata is going to fall. It's a double kill for Ezreal. What a crazy start. 4 for 1.
Devastating fight there for Meteor Makers, going 3-2 actually. I think it was, or 4 for 2 was it? In the end, I'm not too sure what it was. No, it was for 1. You are correct. It's right there on the top of the screen. Oh, good Lord. It's been a long, long 3 weeks for me. This is my third event back-to-back, and things are getting a little bit rattled in my head. But 2-0-2. Hosan has gone back, and he's picked himself up a Vampiric Scepter and Boots straight away. Just had that longsword in there. Also, Shushay, he's picked up some damage items. Really, the only person that got the kill in there was just Makler, and that is going to make lanes really difficult for them. No crazy swapping around here, no crazy invades, because, well, they've already just had that fight. Nobody else wants to fight anymore.
Yeah, I think that's enough fighting for both teams at this. And the funny thing is, Meet Your Makers, you know, we've been casting them a long time, right from the very start when they were making their name in the League of Legends scene. And they are traditionally a very, very good level 1 team. Talked a little bit about it after the first game in that last best of 3 with Jason. The fact that they didn't really go too aggressive at level 1, maybe because they're thinking that their opponents are going to be ready for that. But Dragonborns just switched it around and came into their jungle and did the business.
Yeah, and it really is nearly always that's in our notes. You know, Meteor Makers strong level 1, but as it was, Dragonborns strong level 1. The question is, will that manage to tumble and throw the game out of cock for Dragonborns? Will they manage to force out of it? And you can see they're putting the pressure on that bottom lane. They are going to go down. It's going to be Libic's going to get dropped. Who will pick up the kill? Shushay will be there. And, well, teleport already used in good use. And, well, Broken Shard poking up towards the top there. He's going to come in towards Kubon. He is going to land the slow and just lay down the damage. Not going to get followed up by Spontex. Instead, just going to force Kubon back. And, well, 5-1 already for Dragonborns.
This is not in Meet Your Makers' plan. This was this whole start is not what they've been looking for. I was quite surprised there that Shushay managed to get down. Obviously, use his teleport onto that ward that Tariq had put down a little bit earlier on. Gets himself into that bottom lane, and from there, it's easy kill. If you don't detect the fact that Shushay's gone from that lane early enough, then you're going to have some real problems. And they now at least know, obviously, that it's on cooldown for a good while. But we are going to see him go straight in here on towards Shushay, on towards Charu in the middle, who has turned it around there. They just bashing heads here in this early game.
Bashing heads, and I wonder how often Charu has played against Shushay. These obviously both Polish teams, practice partners, and, well, Meteor Makers were pretty confident that they were going to beat Dragonborns. They said we've beaten them all the time in scrims, so feeling very confident. The question is, how can they turn this one? Makler, of course, he's not going to get strong for a long time here. Has picked up a double Dorans, and now he's going to get dazzled out there, and again the exhaust comes down. They're going to try and turn this one into a kill. Hosan does keep punishing, but you can see Libic sustain. He will try and poke them back, and Makler this time was not going to be the target. The top lane is still Spontex versus Kubon. Very much a back and forward, but Kubon being pressured on that top lane.
Yeah, let's see how he's going to handle that one. The CSA, he's losing out pretty heavily from the start. I'm wondering how they're going to turn that one around down in the bottom lane. We can see the stun there landing on towards Libic. Have they got the damage to follow in? Actually, Ignite goes on to move it. Makler turns it around, manages to get the last hit off. Will Hosan try and get the kill? Will he turn around? We can see they're going to get hit against the wall. Very quick reactions to pop the cleanse, though, will save Hosan.
The condemn and the cleanse straight away used, but we do see movement once again. Broken Shard is going to get himself in a position. There's no wards here. They're not going to spot him coming. He's going to come around the back side of them. Is Hosan going to give the game away? He is still pretty low, but you can see it's going to be Broken Shard coming around. He's actually Libic he's gone for, which is less than ideal. I feel he should have gone for Makler. Instead, he's just going to get poked back, and now Makata comes in on towards Broken Shard. Broken Shard, Makler picks up the kill. The top lane, oh, it's a back and forth in the top lane, and, well, we did see Shushay coming down the bottom, but he was just a little bit too late. It's Charu that picked up the kill on Hosan. All the lanes, and it's 6-5. Things have just balanced themselves out so quickly.
Yeah, and that could be, again, this overconfidence thing that I'm talking about. You get off to that dream start, going 4-1 up, 5-1 up even after that, after they got another kill in that bottom lane. And then look how quickly it can turn around. That last one, they took down 3. They only lost Kubon as they traded with Spontex in that top lane. And we can see that we're just back to an almost level game. I mean, it's still 1,000 gold lead, actually, in favor of Dragonborns currently. But that won't hang around for once. And I talked about earlier on this Vayne and how if they manage to dominate her in the early game, it makes their matchup so much easier. But look at the scoreline, 3-1-1. That Vayne is going to get scary with a Vamp Scepter now picked up.
Yeah, Vamp Scepter and Boots picked up, so very much equalising exactly what Hosan gained from that very start. And 6 minutes in, advantage has gone. They're pinging up towards Sharu. They see him running up towards the top there. Broken Shard, he said he's going to turn around onto. Ward placement used. And he's going to back off. Teleports both were used. We don't see a teleport up for Shuche. We'll be back first, though. We'll see whether keep our eye on that one, because it seems to be the teleport ganks of flavour of the month, certainly here in Poland. And they have been very successful for Meteor Makers and Dragonborns. It's kind of like a mirror image of one another. Just 7 minutes gone in this game. 11 kills already. You know, myself and Jack, we were in the cinema watching the actual matches happen earlier on. We saw the Meteor Makers versus Millennium, I nearly said Eclipse match happening earlier, and that was crazy. There were 70+ kills in that game, just 20 minutes into it. Shuche getting aggressive on towards Sharu there, and Sharu just covering out the damage, trying to get a bit of poke back and forward. 7 minutes gone, Joe. Very, very close, tight game.
Incredibly tight game still, and an incredibly interesting one as well. Both teams fighting for that last place here in the European LCS, which makes it even more nail-biting. You know, this is not your average tournament final. This is careers that we're talking about here on the line, not just that bit of prize money. This is for a full year to be right at the top of the League of Legends scene. Bottom lane there, we can see that Hosan was just pushing out in the top. Actually, Spontex has just gone back. That's going to give Kubon a little bit of time. He's actually 20 CS behind them in that top lane is Kubon.
Yeah, he had the problem at the start. He was bullied out of it, but the fact that he did manage to get the equal kill, hasn't yet gone himself a Giant's Bow. You can see the Giant's Bow picked up by Spontex, already going straight for that one. The fact that he got those assists early on seemed to have helped him out. Now this bottom lane, 43-54. That's not too bad when you consider Hosan was 2-0-2 earlier on. Makler's actually kept himself up with the CS, the Counter-Strikes. Maybe he's kept himself up in Counter-Strike as well, but he is playing an AD carry, who knows, with a couple of bolts. Shuche is making a move, though. We do see the blue buff going across to Sharu. Meanwhile, the top lane Kubon getting knocked in the air. Shuche, well, I think he was spotted, and their pings do go down and say, yep, we're expecting a gank.
Yeah, that first Giant spell actually coming out there for Xin Chao, and just going to help Spontex out so much in this top lane. And allow him to hang around in there, that farm advantage even more in his favour. Also got that Doran's Blade in there, obviously, to give him that nice sustain in the lane. So let's have a look then. Off towards the middle in terms of CS. There's 70-59 in favour of Shuche. Vi does have now that Brutalizer in there and finished, so we'll see how he comes around. His teleport is up. Charu's is still on cooldown, so we may see Shuche getting involved in the action here shortly. Yeah, but that Brutalizer is going to do damage as well compared to Sharu. Sharu's just simply going to be more of a crowd control mechanism if he goes into the fight, just with that Ninja Tab. He's not really got anything at the moment damaging, continuing his farm out though, and he's been out-farmed by Shuche. Pretty much all the lanes, as it were, are in favour of Dragonborns, which you would expect when it was a 4-1 start for them. But Meteor Makers have kept themselves in this well. No shenanigans coming out from Dragonborns. As they say that, they're diving towards Sharu, puts the damage down, just keeps him back, and preventing really Sharu from getting any farm, and he is starting to stretch a lead here in the middle lane, Joe. Yeah, and I'm wondering if this is what really Shuche has been practicing this fight to get her in there. I mean, this is going to be the first tournament where she's available. If you're confident enough to play a champion that new after release, you're always going to have a little bit of a mind game advantage because people won't be as comfortable as if you're playing some of the older champions in there in that lane. So that may just be giving Shuche a nice little edge to this one. Meanwhile, we just see Broken Shard there in the middle lane. Just sticking back, not going to be brought out and baited in, and for that gank to come down. Out at the bottom there, you see Makler just trying to zone out. 64-77 CS, so still we see Hosan maintaining his advantage.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what these junglers are going to do. But every time there's been action created, it's generally been those popping out of the jungle and creating something. Broken Shard at the moment farming out. We do see Makata trying to position himself. Sharu once again pressured in that mid lane by Shuche. But he's just going to be wasting his time because you can see the duo lane of Hosan and Movet. They are backing off to base, and they're going to pick themselves up the first BF sword of the game. I nearly said something I shouldn't have, but they are. The Big Friendly Sword, I believe, is the actual name.
I'm not sure it is. It's got a different one, but we don't need to go into that one. But we can see those home guard boots, both being finished fairly early. Like we talked about earlier, synergizes with that teleport so well, especially for Wukong, who's got to get amongst the team with that ultimate running. Spontex continuing to farm. He is now a good 20 CS in the lead from that one. Speaking of home guard in the bottom lane, we are going to see Shushay come in there. He is going to fly down. Can they get in onto Makler? Yes, they can. He is not escaping this one. Shushay going to finish it off. And just as they talked about the home guard boots, they make their first appearance.
And well, Sharu cancelled his teleport because he thought he was going to get down in time, but really it was all about Shushay and that ulti from Vi. Just teleporting straight in there, telegraphing himself onto him, knocking him up in the air, followed by the dazzle. There was no way he was ever going to get away from that one. Now they're going to try and force the Dragon. The question is, will Mighty Makers try and contest it? They don't have their AD carry. And Kubon is making his way down, but Spontex is going to be there way earlier. So this is going to be a very, very dangerous steal if they do go for it, Joe. It looks like they're going to try and poke in there.
They're going to try and get in. Makata actually will get into the middle. And where's the ultimate? There they are. They're chained together, but Makata will fall. The Dragon was actually taken down by Dragonborns in that as well. Mighty Makers now in a little bit of trouble as Charu and Kuban both running away. Kuban is still very, very healthy in there, but will they be able to pin him down? He pops a Ragnarok, and he will get to the safety of his tower. So a 1-for-0 Dragon went over to Dragonborns.
Very, very tight, but Dragonborns taking control of the game. Now they're going to push on towards this middle turret. Are they going to try and bite off too much? Kuban lays their damage down. Sharu's ulti, his mirror image getting caught out there. They thought they got him, but no, not quite. Makler, though, coming back into lane, has got himself a BF sword. They can't hang around too much, and you can see the damage. The spikes on towards Broken Shard. Once he gets those 3 silver things on him. I can't remember what they were called. The silver darts, whatever they're called when he builds up the 3 times. Quick Shot would have pulled out the name straight away. Damn it, where is he when you need him? He's just around the corner. But as it is, they're going to put pressure on towards the middle turret, and they should be able to take a good chunk of health off this. Makata's going to dive in towards Broken Shot. Has to use the invulnerability for himself. And now Shushay comes back in. Makler on the turret with his ultimate. Had to pop it, try and get away from there. Makata is also backing away, and this could be a very back and forth game, Joe. Spontex pressure in top.
Or it is a very back and forth game. And the funny thing is, the way it started, it could have been an absolute one-sided stomp of a fest with the way that Dragon Ball started off here. As you mentioned, Spontex is now pushing in towards his top lane. He's got no mana left, and Charo is going to go in there, decides not to go offensive for it. Makler, in the meantime, has gone down into this bottom lane. We can see how much he's starting to hurt now with that BF sword built up. Obviously does have the Vamp Scepter, which is going to give him nice sustain as he goes back in there. Still behind on the CS though, 91 to 117, and there is a Bloodthirst and a pickaxe being picked up by Ezreal.
Yeah, and across the board there behind. In the top lane you can see that Spontex is way ahead, 30 CS advantage. In the mid lane, well, Wukong is picking up as much as he can, but you can see that Shushay, he's been out farming as well, and the AD carries, as you just mentioned, is ahead in Hosan. Hosan's been playing very well in this tournament, and honestly, Dragonborns are looking very good here. The pressure must really be piling on to Meet Your Makers. Remember, this is a best of 3. This is the last chance saloon. Last chance Sunday, some have been calling it, of course, the League of Legends Championship Series. It is what they're trying to get into, and if they don't make it, well, they're going to have to be waiting. I think it's around about April or May when the next chance comes up with a promotion relegation battle will commence. But that in itself will be such a tight time. You want to get in the door early. You want to be playing weekly matches with the very best in your region, and that's just going to make you inherently better as a team. As it stands, though, it is Dragonborns with the advantage.
Yeah, and a nice one as well as Libby getting pressured down in this bottom lane. Hosan not quite got the damage to finish him off in terms of a kill there, and Vayne now going to come back into that lane as well. Here we go, Crescendo comes down. Hosan could be in a little bit of trouble. Broken Shroud has taken down that turret in the middle in the protest, but Makler pushing in on towards Mover. Can he pick himself up the kill? Will actually cleanse off the stun there, but can he finish off? Hosan is actually kited around, done good damage. Now Makler's in trouble. Ulti comes out. Hosan will micro that one perfectly as Charu comes teleporting in. Can he get onto Hosan? Yes, he's just got him. There was a heal coming out. He's going to try and get away. Charu gets the kill. He's now got to run. Kubon is left alone in the top lane, but Charu is running for dear life. Kale's going to slow him down. Can Dragonborns get in there and finish this kill off?
Run, monkey, run. Shushay is chasing, puts down his side. Will he try and divert? No, he doesn't. He doesn't juke it round in. Instead, he's running away. Kubon taken very low, but Charu has been caught out here. Mubet's going to flash through. Can he get the dazzle down? He's going to try and juke it around. Instead, he tries to get the damage on Mubet. It's not going to happen. And Shushay tracks it down and picks up another kill. And that is the Black Cleaver. It worked right there. 4-1-2 for Shushay. 4-2-5 for Hosan. It is working out very well for the Dragonborns.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that Charu actually turned around there. There's that brief moment where he turned in and chased Vi out again. If he'd have kept running, he probably would have survived that scenario. In the end, though, he's obviously fed Shushay another kill, and he's going to have a decent amount of gold to go home with, around 1,100 gold. Yeah, there we go, see on your screen, to get home with and spend up. We'll see if he goes for straight into a giant spell, which would not surprise me whatsoever. And as I say, that giant spell picked up.
It's a 7,000 gold difference across the team, and it equates to about 1,000 plus per player right now for Dragonborns. They are way ahead in gold, and that's going to also give them the items. You can see many items completed, the first big items, whereas Meal Makers, they are hurting right now. They can't force any fights. Every time they try and create something, it's backfiring on them, and Makler just has to sit and farm and try his best to keep up. But it's not quite working out for him. You saw, did he manage to steal away the blue there? I don't think he did. I can't see whether Makata has it on him. He does not, which means, yes, Hosan stole it with the True Shot Barrage.
Wow, nicely done from Hosan. Not the first time that we've seen Ezreal stealing buffs like that this tournament either. But that is fantastic play just to deny this and move with that bit more. He's 10 CS behind, not being able to get in for the kills. And we can see that Dragonborns here going to put the pressure down. I mean, it's an Ezreal with double buff. You can't stand and fight with him.
You can't stand and fight with him, and Spontex is coming in, but he's already got that Sunfire Cake. Crescendo comes across, then split targeting, no bandage. Toss missing out from Makata there. Vayne has used his ulti. Do not go to that bush. It is danger for you. And Limic's going to get taken down. Curse the side mommy using the forward to try and get the hell out of there. And well, now you can see Charu. He thought about coming in, but it's too little too late. Hosan tracking him down. He's going to fight him. That red buff is going to proc off. Are they going to turn it back on towards him? He pops the ultimate, bounces him in the air. It's Hosan they want, but he cleansed it off there. Makler can't get into the damage. Kubon comes back in as well, but it is back and forward, and everybody disengages. Limic, the only one to go down.
Really nice little fight there. Dragonborns thought they might have gone a little bit too far in, but in the end, turns out not. They're going to turn it around, get themselves the second dragon of this game. And obviously, they did pick up their first one. That will leave them a smidgen away from a 10,000 gold lead, 18.5 minutes into this game. Obviously, Vayne's going to get a bit more time now to farm down in this bottom lane, but on the other hand, still 20 CS behind. Has got 3 kills compared to the 5 kills on Ezreal, who has now also finished that last Whisper in there.
The Warmogs on Kubon, that might help him a bit, but you can see Spontex is just so far ahead in terms of build. He's building up his own Warmogs. 1-1-5, 1-2-1. And it is around about 2,000 gold deficit between the two now. It's starting to build up. 23,000 to 32,000. That's a big difference right now. And it is starting to hurt them. Interesting that Broken Shard and Kubon just stroll on past each other. Didn't want any of it there. Charu trying to put the damage on Spontex, but I think it's going to roll reverse, and Spontex is strategically just starting to bully out Charu, trying to bait him in towards the bush, but they knew Kubon was coming the whole time. But that just shows how strong Spontex is right now. He has died, so he's not going to be able to go invulnerable the whole time, but it does also mean he's going to turn the damage on. Down the bottom, though, Hosan pops out the ultimate. True Shot Barrage, and Makata just caught up in a rush there, and now they're going to change. Oh, and Limic's going to get caught out. Shushay just zeroing in on him, and that's going to be the double kill for Hosan. Top lane, they're also bullying out. Kubon's being forced away. Spontex dives on him. The slow comes down. He's going to get the knock-up. He's going to be forced to use Ragnarok if he doesn't get away too far. Now the 2 turrets, top and bottom, both being pushed, Joe.
Yeah, great play again out of Dragonborns. They're going to be going in first onto the top turret. Kubon using that Warmogs to his best effect there, just trying to do as much damage as he can and force them off that turret. In the end, works out for him, but you can see bottom inner turret has already been pushed heavily by Dragonborns, and that will actually be turret number 4. Not a single one picked up yet for Meet Your Makers. Dragonborns doing a really great job. 20 minutes into this one. What items are we going to be seeing coming out next? It might be a while till they go home, because they are pushing again in towards another inner turret on this middle lane. It's already down to half HP. Let's see what they go for. Meet Your Makers, they've got a Mumu. We saw it in the jungle in that last fight actually that happened. He bandage tosses in, which is just, on the one hand, a terrible idea because he's not tanky enough. He just gets blown up when that happens. We can see, again, Meet Your Makers just forcing them to back away. But for how long? That's the real question, because they're going to have a big spike of items when they come back in.
It is going to be a big spike, and you know what? Dragonborns are doing a fantastic job of keeping the pressure on. This is something we've talked about so often with the likes of Gambit Gaming and CLG, and any of the big Korean teams. When they get that advantage, they just drive it home and keep it on you. Shatter set up nicely for a true shot barrage. Move Air being the perfect support there, and just keeps the siege minion. Oh, and he nicks it away. So Shujay's coming. He's like, no, this was my AD carry. It's not for you. Spontex, meanwhile, in the top there. He's chasing on towards Sharu. Sharu's got a long way to get away from Spontex. He's going to be able to catch on towards him. He does manage to chase him down. He's going to get the knockup. Meanwhile, Kubon's also in trouble down the bottom lane. And when your top laner is being battered and bullied, Sharu is just being beaten around the head with a big baseball bat by Spontex, and he's going to have to run away.
He's going to have a headache after that, that's for sure. Taking a lot of damage there, and had to actually obviously use that ghost to really get himself into a safe position. Now Dragonborns looking for that second inner turret. They did some damage to it earlier on. See there, the Essence Flux given over from that extra attack speed onto Broken Shard, who actually does have the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, plus that Stinger already finished in there as well. And now they just wait for minions to join in the party so that they can have a go onto that tower. And they realise, oh look, there's a blue wolf spawning. Let's take that one. Let's deny it from Meet Your Makers as the Ezreal ultimate is actually going to come across there. Are they going to be able to catch anyone out, Dragonborns? There are wards spotting their positions. But let's see if they can actually push through. Shushay is just off to the side there. Obviously has that Warmost now in with the Black Cleaver. Here we go. We are going to see it all going down. Yeah, Crescendo comes out, and also you can see Wukong's going to get in there. He's going to knock a lot of them up. Dragonborns are being ripped apart here. Meet Your Makers finally picking up a couple of kills, but Shushay is in there, and he is doing damage. Sharu somehow survives, but now can they turn the damage on? Makler is still alive, as is, you can see Kubon, but they're all very low. Hosam's going to come in. He's going to clean up. He gets a double kill. He could have got a triple. He could have just carried on going, but Dragonborns, despite the perfect initiation from Meet Your Makers there, have been killed off, and it was a 2 for 2 with a turret going down and possibly a second. One really surprised me to see him surrender even at this stage. I mean, after a fight like that, you realise you can't quite win it out, as we will see Charu dive into the middle of them, has to run straight off, and look how much health is lost there. 2/3 of his health already going down. Is he going to be finished? Yes, he is. Dragonborns decide to back away right now, and I think Meet Your Makers' only real chance here is if they go straight up and go and have a try and a cheeky Baron. Oh, that was close. Charu down to almost nothing.
Down to almost nothing. Does get on the fountain just in time. So, item-wise, let's have a look across the board. We do see the Iron Locket, the Solari on Makata. This is something that has been, obviously, seen Gambit Gaming picking up a lot of lately. Seems to counteract against the Warmog stacking, the Bruiser stacking that they have. Helps out well, gets all defensive on them. We also see another, that's got to be another Brutalizer coming out. Is Sharu, of course, he's going to go for the Yumo's Ghostblade, I guess, straight after, along with that Black Cleaver. Looking towards Black Cleavers, of course, Warmogs across the board. Dragonborns are ahead in the items, and they are starting to stack out. We do see, that's going to be the Ironborn Gauntlet is going to be coming out, of course, for Hussein. I was just wondering why he's just built a Glacial Shroud, but he has got that Sheen in there as well, so they almost completed on that. You can see 9-2-5. He is way ahead of Makta right now, which is exactly what they need to be, because Makta's just going to get stronger as the game progresses.
Yeah, we can see, though, in the bottom lane, he's been absolutely hammered away on that baseball. Bats out again for Spontex. This time, Makler actually is going to get himself stealth, but you're not going to escape a Xin Zhao, who picks up his second kill, actually, of the game. Now 2-2-5, and look at Shushay. He's right in there, actually focusing down on towards Limbic first. Makata should just leave here, because there's no way he's actually going to be able to kill him off. And we see him pushing right in now. Makata going very, very low. Where's the finisher? Not quite landing in. What's Shushay going to go for? Actually flashed in there, still didn't quite get it off.
Ain't nowhere to run for him, but he does get away, and they do push on the wave, though, in there. You can see Makata backing off. Makta will be respawned just by the time they get into this turret, but they're going to have to get back from that fountain very, very quickly because the Dragonborns are driving it home for a victory here. 17-8 currently in kills, and they are on the turret, and with all them bruises, they are going to do a heck of a lot of damage. The inhibitor turret goes down. True Shot Barrage comes across. You can see Curse the Sad Mommy. Wukong's trying to get in there, trying to disrupt, but the damage is too strong. Mercata gets taken down. They do finally get Spontex down, but it doesn't matter because Hosan is ripping them apart from the inside, and he just pokes them back and forward, back and forward. Makler can't stand and dance with Hosan.
Yeah, and you see there Hosan pretty much full HP, just killing him in that fight. He's just left alone the entire time to do exactly what he wants. And Kubon, to be honest, needs to do a better job of getting in there and stopping this Ezreal. Yes, he has that great mobility, but that's really his job. That's why this Olaf is so strong, because in those team fights with Ragnarok on, you can't really control him, and he can take that AD carry out of the game, and especially when the AD carry is this fed, he has to do that.
They're desperately trying to pick up some exit kills here. Hosan actually very low on mana. You can see Livic is going to come out. When you see the red buff, Hosan did manage to take it away. As it was, broken shot, Shusha's backed off, and we are just going to check out a replay of that last fight, Joe.
Yep, so here we go then. That was the turret going down. You saw the Ezreal ultimate coming out. Look at Hosan's position there in your bottom right. Actually used the cleanse there early on, but he's just the entire time just hammering away, hammering away. Yes, they've lost a couple of men in that fight, but when Hosan's doing so much damage, you're always going to lose that. You can't ever win a fight where that happens.
And there's the inhibitor. That's how it went down. 19-10 currently. And, well, it's a 14,000 gold lead. And Spontex has found Kubon in a bush. And he has that bat back out again. And he continues to drive it up the backside of Kubon. And he's just beating his legs right now. He's slowing him down. Ragnarok's popped, so he's like, no, get off my legs, damn it. I'm not bruised. Ghost is going to be popped. Spontex is going to continue chasing him. And he knocks him up the air because the Ragnarok has run out. Crescent Sweep also used. Spontex is just slowly but surely driving him home. Makler comes back down. Is it going to be enough? Kubon gets away. Spontex is now in trouble, but he's going to continue trying to take down Kubon. Can he get away with it? Kubon's going to get low. Spontex is taken low. Kubon survives, but it took two members to help it out, and it means the inhibitor turret at the top will go down. Great advantage, Dragonborns.
Yeah, that was a nice play out of Spontex. Yes, he's died. Yes, he's thrown three of them away, and that's the big thing, as we are going to see Charu go in with the ultimate running, and it's not got the rest of the team there to help him out. They've stopped just about that inhibitor going down, but at what price? They're not going to have that Cyclone available in the next fight, and that's something that could make it even worse for them.
And that is the blue buff given across. Hosan taking that one away. 9-6 now. Very, very, very strong. Hosan has played absolutely immaculately, I think, in this tournament. Even against Fnatic early on, he had a little struggle in that one, but in these games, he has really proved himself to be a fantastic AD carry, and there's a couple of new stars being born from Dragonborns, I feel. Hosan, he couldn't take part in Season 2. He was actually banned from that tournament, and maybe it's showing that, Elo Hell, who we would have played for back then, which was Shusha's team, could have put up a fantastic performance had he been allowed, but you can't be a naughty boy in League of Legends, and it just shows you, no matter what you do, it will catch up to you. But second chance is given, and, well, fair play to him. He has taken it by the horns and is playing fantastically well here in the Season 3 qualifiers.
Yeah, he's been so impressive throughout this whole tournament. I think if we had one of those MVP votes, that he'd definitely be up there with contesting for that victory. As we see Spontex here in the middle. He's such a big bully. I mean, Warmog's in there. He's got some fire cape in there. There's a Warden's mail picked up for him. Like, he's just so ridiculously strong and hard to take down that even if he's pushing from the side, you've almost got to ignore him, but you can't fully ignore him. We can see him now coming in once again on towards Kubon. Let's see how this one goes for him.
Well, they're beaten back and forward once again. Have the rest of the team going to come around to try and help him out? No, because Kubon's going to get slowed down. Ragnarok and Ghost was pops because of the Sad Mommy crescendo, but Spontex is made invulnerable, and now Livic's in trouble. Everybody disengages rapidly from Meteor Makers because Dragonborns were getting involved. The big advantage they had there, they may have been able to pick something up as Hosan wasn't there, but he would have been back in time to clean up.
Yeah, they used pretty much everything in that fight with Meteor Makers. Lots of cooldowns being burnt, and now the Baron is being started off. We are going to see True Shot Barrage put down by Hosan onto a Mumu's position. And look at this mover, just getting in the side of him. And they decide all to jump out of Baron Pit. They're going to take him down. Charu's actually in the Baron Pit himself. Got the ulti off. Broken Char going very low. Makler will actually pick up that kill. But look at the focus coming down onto Makler. Libic is very low. Coborn maybe the only one that can save him. 2 kills coming around. Both Makler and Libic are dead. There is Hosan taking down Wukong. And Kubon is going to be finished as well. That will be an ace for Dragonborns. And surely the game.
Not even Obi-Wan Kenobi could have helped Meteor Makers there. They were just shredded apart. They didn't have any ultimates available because they just used them all to save Kubon earlier on, and that just meant the Dragonborns, they just baited it basically. They were, okay, they actually nearly took it down in the bait, so they could have finished off maybe the Baron instead. They dived on. They said, Makata's going down. It's going to be the game, and you can see, well, Dragonborns taking game 1. Hosan slunks down into his seat. And they are 1 game away. 1 game away from being in the Season 3. The Dragonborns versus the Meteor Makers. Will Meteor Makers get